Hey YouTube, it's the morning of 10/6 over here, and they're in Egypt having discussions about the final details of this peace deal.
And to the jailers of our hostages, I now say, lay down your arms. Let my people go. Free the hostages, all of them, the whole 48. Free the hostages now.
Let my people go.
The slaves are mine.
So they had the exchange. We were just talking about this on Axios. Evidently, the president called up Bibi and said, this is great news. He's like, not really. Hamas, I can't trust them. They always break down. And he said, can't you be more be optimistic?
Don't be negative.
Yeah, don't be so negative. I understand what both sides are saying. You know, the president's like, we have to think big. We got to think about it. There's no alternative. And he's saying, do you know who you're dealing with? Because they got to put down their guns, and they got to rescind all rights to run Gaza or West Bank or the Palestinian Authority. And they said, we want to keep, Hamas says, we want to keep our guns, but we'll put our rockets in storage.
These guys want peace. You see the guy with the rocket launcher? He wants peace. Man. So, speaking of the Exodus, have a look at this. I broke down this morning. I got to this job site and I realized that I had a flat tire. So I went up and I delivered my load and I came back and this is where I parked. My stop time that I stopped my time for, you know, like a maintenance breakdown. My stop time was 9:27. Confirmation of the covenant. And then my end time, I put my truck back to my trailer at 10:07 to get back on the job. Now, I think it's funny, the farm stand is open from 10 to 7, 10-7, and it gets even more fun. You see Red Cloud? Well, what happens if you search Red Cloud in the Bible? It just happens to point you right back to Exodus. I know it's not read verbatim, but this is the first appearance of red cloud in the Bible. So this Exodus thing is kind of funny again, isn't it? So just for fun, my tire guy's name was Noah, and I broke down between Red Cloud and Joshua Street, Lane, Road, whatever.
That's what...
Well, the president is balancing the regional piece, because he's dealing with the Arab and Muslim world and trying to keep them in line with this deal. Getting them to agree to this deal is, I mean, that is unheard of, to get the full Muslim world and Arab world to agree to that. But to Bibi's point, the Prime Minister of Israel, Hamas has shown no indication that they want to surrender.
Yeah. Well, Jared Kushner is in Egypt. Steve Witkoff is there. Hopefully they can negotiate some sort of a deal. When Rubio was asked over the weekend who's going to run Gaza, because it can't be Hamas, and he said it can't be Hamas. He said it's going to take some time to iron all that out, to set up a group that would govern. He said it'll take time. But he said the negotiations between Hamas and Israel are not yet the end of the war.
You know what? There's, all I can tell you is this. Just keep this in mind. I don't know what's going to happen next. But at a time in which Israel is isolated, the President of the United States is popular in the Arab world, and he's the most popular politician, bar none, in Israel. Think about that. How has he done it? How has he been able to get the Arab world and Israel, who are at odds, together in order to pressure Hamas, even though, obviously, there's been friction for thousands of years? At this moment, even Andrea Mitchell over the weekend said, I would give him the Nobel Peace Prize if he can pull this off.
Do you think...
You ask them, who is Trump to you? And you know what they said? Trump is our new Messiah, actually. They want to believe that Trump is the Messiah. What I think is happening here is God using Donald Trump to hasten the coming of the Lord. This is
Trump. Don't take this wrong, but remember I'm Jewish, and a Messiah is, in Judaism, is the person who would bring the one true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the world. A Messiah means a great leader, a great prophet. I believe that Donald J. Trump is a Messiah for what's called the New Jerusalem, which is the United States of America. He was it, and he opened everybody's eyes. That's the only way I could describe him.
You know what I mean?
October 6th, the Draconid meteor shower will set America on fire. On the same night that the supermoon rises, the skies above the United States will unleash another spectacle, and this one could be far more dangerous. Astronomers confirm that on October 6th, the Draconid meteor shower will peak, with dozens of meteors and hours streaking across the heavens. But this isn't just a pretty show. Experts warn the Draconids are unpredictable. Some years only a few appear, others thousands rain down in a sudden cosmic storm. With the supermoon lighting the sky brighter than usual, many fear the combination could create optical chaos, masking incoming fireballs until they're already overhead. Scientists admit fragments large enough to reach the ground could ignite wildfires in dry regions of the West. Emergency officials worry about power outages if meteors interfere with satellites and communications. Viral videos from past showers show massive fireballs exploding with sonic booms, terrifying entire towns. This October 6th won't just be another night. Between the pull of the supermoon and the fire raining from the Draconids, America could face one of the most surreal and unsettling nights in recent memory.
China's policy is very clear. China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot. China will never allow the United States to launch a war against China, conventional or nuclear, without suffering devastating consequences. If you have not watched the Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd, one of the weapons China demonstrated, we call it 61, because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus one hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted. I hope Washington has learned the lesson. If you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war. This is very serious.
Not trying to be all doomy in your doom scroll over here with the brain rot. But if Jesus came for his church on that Exodus, if he came in the next day or two or any of that, tell me what's not in place. Tell me what's missing. Everything that the Bible ever said that would be in place is happening right now. They're doing it. And, you know, there's only one way out of this death trap. Jesus Christ is the only way. He has to stand in your place to cover your sin, because it only takes one to stay out of heaven. You can see it from Adam and Eve and Lucifer. One kicked them out. So the time is short, you know, whether we're right or whether we're wrong about a date. It's still time to be prepared to meet your Lord, because it's not a thing to gamble with. This is not a time to be, you know, testing the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So make sure that you're set, make sure your heart's clean, and make sure that you are a clear conscience before God. In Jesus' name.